to the lineup wearing number 5. Brandi Chastain will wear number 6. Tracey Bates wears number 7. Linda Hamilton had a great night against Brazil, shutting down their high-scoring forward, Balo. Michelle Akers-Stahl will be up front. The United States needs to get some offense from her. Julie Foudy wears number 11. Carin Jennings will be in the lineup again, wearing number 12. Wendy Gebauer, one of the newcomers, wearing number 15. And number 16, Debbie Belkin.
Well, they're the 3 newcomers to this game. 3 players who have not yet played in this World Championship. Lori Henry, number 5, number 15, Wendy Gebauer, number 7, Tracey Bates. This is a chance to see these new faces, get them some experience, so if they're needed in the quarterfinals, they have that experience and it won't be a surprise to them.
And here's a look at the United States lineup as they prepare for their pregame picture. And now let's take a look at the Japanese lineup this afternoon. Masae Suzuki will be in goal. Number 2, Midori Honda. Number 4 is Mayumi Kaji. Yamaguchi wearing number 5. Matsuda wearing number 8. Akemi Noda wearing number 9 this afternoon. Takakura, number 10. Kyoka wearing number 11. Kyoko Kuroda wearing number 13 this afternoon. Iori Nagamine wearing number 15. And Kako Tezuka wearing number 16. That rounds up the Japanese lineup. And here's a look at the Japanese women's national team. And we get a look at today's officials. The referee from Colombia, Chinese and German lines people today. So we'll have a good international mix officiating this afternoon's game.
Also, you might want to mention that this is a first for FIFA, for an international match. We have 6 female linesmen working these games, lineswomen, and I think 2 of them are working today's game. I think this is a good example that FIFA is expanding their horizons. They've got 65 of the 165 countries involved in women's soccer, and I think it's great for the sport that get all aspects involved.
Well, I think the fact that we are even having a first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer shows FIFA's dedication to women's athletics, and of course the Federation, the United States Soccer Federation, certainly showing its commitment as well, bringing these great players all the way across the globe here to Foshan, China. Needless to say, this is an important game for the United States. The big question is there going to be enough offense on the field? You're resting 5 of your regulars, just not playing today, or at least not in the starting lineup. Is there enough offense out there for the United States?
Oh, absolutely. These women have been playing together a lot of years, and I think any combination that they put out there will be successful. Now, the people that they're resting are the captain, April Heinrichs, Joy Biefeld, Chris Lilly, Mia Hamm, and Shannon Higgins. Now, 3 of them, I think it's because of the injuries. They want to rest April's torn cartilage she got in August, get that, it's been sore during this tournament. Want to get that rested up. Joy Biefeld's nursing a hamstring, and Chris Lilly had that hip pointer that she got in the first game. So I think injuries are a part of it. The other part of it is getting some experience for the other women. They have not yet been in the tournament, and it's important that they get that experience so that they can progress with the team.
With the lack of offense, with April Heinrichs out, with Mia Hamm out, with Chris Lilly out, 2, actually 3 great offensive players, and Shannon Higgins, their playmaker, out, will it force the U.S. into a change of style today?
No, I don't think they'll change their tactics at all. They will attack. That is their style. That's what gets them there. That's the type of players that they have on the reserve bench so that they can come in and continue with that style. This will be a good test for the U.S. because they're playing with virtually a different lineup. At least 5 of the players are different than what they've had before, and they're not sure of which team is going to show up, which Japanese team is going to show up. Japan lost to Brazil 1-0. They played a good game in that game, but then they got trashed by Sweden 8-0. Depends on which team shows up, but the U.S. needs this win. They believe that they can get it with this lineup, get the women who don't have experience, and then prepare for the quarterfinals.
Well, you know, this is an important game for the United States. You mentioned that the U.S. needs this win. Why?
They need to win simply because it gets them a better draw in the quarterfinals. They're already into the quarterfinals, but with a win here, they can get a better draw. This just makes it easier to get into the semifinals.
Getting set for the opening kickoff of this afternoon's game. Big question, Matt. Which team's going to show up this afternoon? The one that yielded just 1 goal to Brazil, or the team that yielded 8 to Sweden?
Well, there's no question that Japan has a pretty good squad. They finished second in the Asian Championship. They won their group easily. They beat all 4 teams. They got 27 goals for them, and they only allowed 1 goal, so they're a tough team defensively. In the final of their group, they beat Chinese Taipei 1-0 on penalty kicks. Actually, it was after a 0-0 game, and it was 5-4 on penalty kicks. In the final, though, against China, they lost 5-0, which means, although they have a good team, China really has an excellent team. Japan is going to be starting a new pro league next year, so I think they're really excited about this sport, and they're supporting it.
Here's Brandi Chastain up the wing. Debbie Belkin feeds into the Japanese end. Held in, though, by Brandi Chastain. No score, the opening minute of the first half. Great to have you with us here in Foshan, China. Linda Hamilton plays it ahead, looking for Wendy Gebauer. Ball is loose, finally controlled by the Japanese. U.S. without a number of its big guns. April Heinrichs out, Mia Hamm out, Lilly out, Joy Biefeld out, Shannon Higgins, the great playmaker, out. We talked about maybe a different style of play here this afternoon.
Well, you're right in the one aspect is they are missing their playmaker, Shannon Higgins. She controls the heart of the midfield, but they're also missing the other midfielders, Biefeld, Lilly, and Hamm. Up front, they're missing April Heinrichs, the captain of the team, and you're losing a lot of leadership there, but they believe that they can make it up with the women that they put in.
Tough foul there, Midori Honda knocking down Carin Jennings. Restart to the United States, and it will be Debbie Belkin to put it into play. Ball knocked down in the midfield. Michelle Akers-Stahl leaves it for Chastain, plays it on the right wing. Lori Henry, she's a newcomer to the lineup today. Plays a long ball towards the area, no problem for Masae Suzuki. You know, Anson Dorrance, when he came in, had to make a lot of decisions. Some of them weren't the most popular decisions.
When he first got to the team, he looked at the nature of the team, the aspect of the women that he had, and said, what direction do I want to take the U.S. national team? And he said, I want to rebuild. I want to get a new core of players. So he released a number of very popular veterans and tried to bring in a core of younger, athletic players that he felt that he could build to just an event like this. And he took what they called the babies. They're all college juniors right now. Joy Biefeld, Lilly, Mia Hamm, and Julie Foudy. They took this core of players, mixed it in with some of their veteran players like Carin, Jennings, Heinrichs, and Akers-Stahl, and wanted to build a world-class team. He got a lot of flack in the beginning because of it, but now it's worked out for him.
Japan with the restart. Matsuda plays it into the area. U.S. playing some tough defense. Ball is loose. And finally cleared back into Mary Harvey. That time, 3 Japanese players in the penalty area, and they could do nothing with it. Mary Harvey, outstanding in nets in the first 2 games. Mary with 5 saves against Sweden, just 2 against Brazil. Wasn't as busy against the Brazilians. But Mary Harvey, you can bet, is going to be tested in this game by the Japanese. Long run for Michelle Akers-Stahl, working on Kaji. Boy, nice move there. Out in front, cleared out of the penalty area.
That's what makes Michelle Akers-Stahl so dangerous. She can beat you in so many ways. Here she took the ball to the corner and brought it right back in with a good, accurate centering pass.
Ball out of play, a throw-in coming up to the United States. There you get a look at Lori Henry. She'll do the honors on the throw-in. Now, momentary timeout.
She's one of the 3 new players on the field. This is her first game in this championship. She's a defender. She's good one-on-one defender. That's what she's known for, but she's also very, very good in the air.
Now Carin Jennings. She has been super in the tournament so far. Makes one move, finally has the ball poked loose. I believe we have a foul coming up, and it will be against the United States. So the restart belongs to the Japanese. Again, losing 1-0 to Brazil, and you'd look at a team like this and say, well, they lose 1-0 to Brazil, must be a strong defensive team. Then they come up against the Swedes and give up 8 goals.
At any time, a team can have a lapse, and I think any professional, as these women are, that's embarrassing. They don't want that to happen again. So I don't think that the Japanese women will allow something like that. There's too much pride involved in this game, too much pride involved in these athletes, and they should come out playing a strong game. Now, whether they can beat the United States remains to be seen. The U.S. is just coming into their stride. They're playing some real good ball right now, and they're getting some experience to these new players also.
You know, you talked about some of the changes Anson Dorrance made, and I know you've been through it both in soccer and in professional football. A change of coaching staff, decisions are made, players are let go, long-time friendships are severed. How long does it take for a team like the United States women's national team to rebound from that, to develop new friendships and new camaraderie?
On a collegiate level, you know there's going to be turnover. There's going to be graduations, and there's going to be freshmen coming in. But on this level, when a player leaves, that's because the coach is deemed no longer useful. Now, that might create a little animosity. The women might feel that, hey, that was their best friend, and they're gone now. The women on this team have shown time and time again that although that happens, they build new and stronger relationships with the women that are there and playing in great sync and with great confidence.
There's a foul against Michelle Akers-Stahl. Restart to Japan. We are scoreless. First half. Just about 7 minutes into the first half. There's a drive towards the area. And cleared away. Held in, though, by Kyoka. Played far side. Takakura battling for the ball towards the out-of-bounds marker and out of bounds. A throw-in coming up. It will belong to Japan. Kyoko Tsuruta playing it in. Held in, Takakura. Her drive out in front, rejected. Another drive, long towards the out-of-bounds marker, and it is well out of bounds. A U.S. goal kick is coming up next. We'll be back right after this.
Making life a little sweeter. Making life a little sweeter. Mars. Making life a little sweeter. Sit right back and stay a while. Making breathe a little truer. Life a
International soccer comes Soccer International. North America's fastest growing full-color soccer monthly brings alive a world of great soccer action. Every month, through 70 pages of stunning photography, revealing graphics, and incisive commentary, Soccer International brings you international spotlight, star player profiles, coaching and refereeing tips, North American soccer report, and more. 12 issues, only $22.95. Soccer International.
Subscribe now, and you also will receive this outstanding aluminum coach's clipboard absolutely free, almost indestructible and easily erasable. You can plot key plays, detail strategy, and explain moves. As used by leading coaches and players worldwide, this aluminum board will give you years of use. Use it at every practice. Use it at every game. It would make a perfect Christmas gift. 12 full-color issues of Soccer International, plus a great coaching clipboard for just $22.95. Less than $1.91 per issue. Call toll-free 1-800-448-3242.
Most guys kick back on the weekends. Jack, on the other hand, so how do you feel?
Ready to rock and roll.
Only one beer has the taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Budweiser.
Tomorrow,
we're sleeping in.
Mary Harvey will put the ball into play for the United States. No score here in Foshan, China. Sellout crowd, over 17,000 looking on. Here's Carla Werden bringing the ball forward for the United States. Long ball headed down. The Japanese with control. Noda with it. Taken down in the midfield area. Brandi Chastain guilty of the foul, and restart to the Japanese. You know, we talked about the newcomers. How about a thumbnail sketch of the three young players who are getting a chance to start this afternoon?
Well, that's Henry, Gebauer, and Bates. Well, let's take a look at this shot here.
Out in front, Mary Harvey falling on the ball.
Little confusion in the defense. I don't think that they were expecting the ball to skitter through like that, and the Japanese made a good attack.
Good scoring opportunity there for Taba Kiyoka. There you get a look at her.
So as we were saying, the three newcomers are Lori Henry in the defense, Wendy Gebauer, the forward, and Tracey Bates at midfield. All of them are from UNC. They've all got 25 or more games of experience, international experience. So Henry, as we said before, as the defender, she's a real good one-on-one marker, and she's very good in the air. So look for her to come up, overlap on offensive attacks. Wendy Gebauer, she's got good, strong tactics. She's very athletic, and she's number 7 on the all-time UNC scoring list, which is no small feat. It's a great tradition at that school, and a lot of goals have been scored. And finally, Tracey Bates. She's fast, she's quick, and she's a southpaw, so I like her. I'm a lefty also. But she's a great leaper. That might not sound like much, but she's 4'11", 100 pounds, and as the smallest player on the field, that shows something. She's tenacious, and that's why her nickname is the Tiny Terminator.
Well, you talked about UNC, the University of North Carolina. They are into the finals of the NCAA soccer tournament.
And without a number of their players and without their head coach.
Wonder how you win an NCAA title without your head coach and a bunch of your regulars.
Well, they're so powerful, I'm sure that they can compete with probably half their regulars missing and compete very well. I don't know how they'll do, but I'm sure they'll make a good showing of themselves.
Masae Suzuki knocks it out into the midfield area, headed to the near sideline and out of bounds away from Kako Tezuka. And Tezuka gives way to Midori Honda for the throw-in. United States and Japan scoreless. We are just about 8 minutes into the first half. The United States does not need to win this game except for the draw. There you get a look. We're 10 minutes in exactly. Of course, the official time is kept on the field. United States has already been guaranteed a berth in the quarterfinals. The big question is, who will they play? Will they play one of the better third-place teams or one of the maybe also-rans as far as the third-place teams in the tournament?
Well, as far as Anson Dorrance is concerned, he would much rather play one of the weaker teams, if there are any weak teams in this tournament, simply because that gets you on a better stride going into other games, maybe the semifinals or the finals. Obviously, they'd much rather play an easier team, but they'll take whoever they get in the draw.
Teams that are still alive, Norway, Germany, some outstanding teams still in the tournament and still very much a part of the quarterfinals, which will be coming up in just a few days here in Foshan.
And after this game, it all becomes a single elimination tournament. If you lose a game, you're out. So I think the U.S. is trying to get that last breath of air, that last gasp of air, before they head into these single elimination tournament.
Boy, a foul there against Kaji, taking down Michelle Akers-Stahl. Michelle, a Herman Award winner. Long drive there, well out of bounds. A goal kick coming up to the Japanese. We'll be back right after this.
Equipment, a new line of performance footwear.
I have a confession. I have no idea how to choose a long-distance calling plan. I don't have to. Sprint does it for me. They keep track of when and where I call and actually let me know which calling plan will save me the most money. They do all that just because I'm a Sprint Priority customer. And I thought it was because I was their spokesperson.
Making life a little sweeter. Making life a little sweeter. Mars. Making life a little sweeter. Right back and stay a while. Making breathe a little truer. Life a little sweeter.
Japan will play it out of their own zone. You got to look at Masae Suzuki. We have a Suzuki and a Honda in this game. No Nissan.
I'm leaving that alone.
Ball played to the far sideline. Right there, Kyoka looking for Tezuka. Tezuka moves in. Werden steps up. Oh, big play by Carla Werden. As that time, Takako Tezuka moved in all alone on Mary Harvey. And Carla Werden, as she has done so often in this tournament, she stepped up very quickly.
Well, that's what a sweeper is supposed to do. Mary Harvey says that Carla Werden is the boss of the defense. She's solid, consistent, no surprises, and she gives no nightmare balls. That's the type of thing, the suicide ball, the 50-50 pass back, the bad lob back to the goalie. She doesn't do that. She organizes the defense very, very well. And she's really not that fast. She'll be the first one to admit it. She has to make up in her lack of speed with some guile and some skill, and she does that very, very well.
Ball loose in the midfield area. There's Brandi Chastain. Chastain hangs on to the ball, clears it ahead. Big collision there. And a foul against the United States. Nope, they're going to rule that one against Japan. Nope, now they're going to rule a throw-in. So no foul, ball simply out of play. And we'll do it all over again. Again, Brandi Chastain. He was a substitute in Game 2. Now Tracey Bates. Ball played all the way back. Lori Henry, another one of the newcomers. You think the reason why the U.S. really hasn't gelled in this particular game, the difference in personnel, you think that it's going to take a while for this team really to get its sea legs, so to speak?
Oh, absolutely. That's part of it. You have to get back in stride with the other players on the field. And if you have 5 changes like they did, and 3 players who hadn't played yet in this tournament, sure, there's going to be a little growing period in there, and that's what's happening. Right now, I don't see really any team with the advantage of anything. Japan has had a couple better opportunities than the U.S. has, and they're playing a good, solid game right now.
Nori Honda plays the ball back, finds Matsuda. Now ahead it comes, number 11, Kyoka. Nice play there by Julie Foudy. Foudy had a very quiet Game 1, came through very strong in Game 2 against Brazil.
Well, she's a defensive midfielder. She works off of Shannon Higgins. Higgins is the playmaker. Foudy is the defensive marker. She wins the ball. Higgins distributes it. And I think Julie asserted herself in this last game, and she's trying to do so again now.
There's Belkin playing the ball up the left wing. And again, looking for Wendy Gebauer. Ball out of bounds. Wendy Gebauer, another one of the newcomers to the starting lineup. You're going to hear a lot about Lori Henry and Tracey Bates and Wendy Gebauer. You know, we talk a lot about how important this game is. Looking more at the long term, getting these players valuable playing experience. How important is that?
Oh, without question, it's really important because not only does this set the stage for this tournament, but for years down the line. A lot of the women here have indicated that after the tournament's over, one way or another, they're going to get on with their lives. They've given up so much to play this game, to play in this specific game, that they need to get on with their lives. They have careers that they have to take care of, and this is the next generation of stars. So you have to get them in there, get some experience so that other women can build from it.
Brandi Chastain on the free kick. This is a dangerous play here. Chip towards the area, headed wide and out of bounds. Boy, a dangerous chance there for the United States. Started with the free kick by Brandi Chastain.
Sent it to the far post looking for Michelle Akers-Stahl, but it was not she who got up for the head ball. I'm not quite sure who it was.
And now a corner kick. And Carin Jennings. Jennings with 3 goals in the tournament so far. Chips it towards the box. Headed wide. Oh, a great opportunity there for number 5, Lori Henry.
Well, that's what we said earlier. She's very good in the air. She came up from her defensive position to try to win that corner kick. She did, but slipped it wide of the net.
Here it is again.
Now, what makes a defender good in the air? A little bit of guile. She uses leverage on the defensive player to get up above them so that she can win that head ball.
Still no score. We are into what we believe to be the 13th minute of the first half. Throw into the United States. Laurie Henry. Ball controlled by Japan. Finally comes down to Brandi Chastain. Now Laurie Henry with it as you get a look again from the ground level. Boy, she really got up there. Another throw-in coming up to the United States. Laurie Henry will do the honors. United States already with 2 wins over Sweden and Brazil. They know they will be in the quarterfinals, simply don't know who they will be playing. Carla Werden powers the ball into the Japanese zone. He was looking for Wendy Gebauer. Gebauer was in traffic. And again, the United States with a throw-in.
If the U.S. is to win this game, they're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit. They're not playing their style yet, I don't think. Their style is to move the ball up quickly, attack quickly, and they just haven't done that yet.
You got a shot of the beautiful facility here in Foshan. Ball played in. Carin Jennings goes wide. Centering pass in front. Cleared out of the box and powered down the field. So the Japanese just trying to take the pressure off here as the United States
Well, the attack
was just yards away from a goal as Laurie Henry will throw it in.
The attack does seem to be building. They're playing more in the Japanese end. The Japanese were getting some good attacks earlier in the game, but the U.S. seems to be pressing a little bit more now, keeping it in this end.
Linda Hamilton tries to cross it. There you get a look at the Japanese bench. They have to be pleased. They were down 8-0 to the Swedes. Now Brandi Chastain with some nice footwork, but a foul against Brandi Chastain. The free kick belongs to Michiko Matsuda. Matsuda drives the ball into the penalty area, headed away, controlled by the United States. Headed down. Finally, it's played back by Honda. Now up the right side. Here's Kyoka. Long drive towards the area. Mary Harvey comes down with it. Boy, a tough play there, and an injured Japanese player down in the goal area, but they say play on. United States still with possession.
Well, that was Tracey Bates trying to shield the ball for Mary Harvey coming out for it, and a lot of times you're going to get whacked like that.
Here's Michelle Akers-Stahl. Stahl avoids one tackle attempt. Her shot, she scores! Michelle Akers-Stahl, her first goal of the tournament. And the United States goes on top 1-0. The goal at 1946.
Michelle Akers-Stahl has such a powerful shot. She can shoot from 20, 25 yards out and powered past the keeper to the far post, and that's exactly what she did there. She can beat you in so many ways, and time and again, I've said it, she's considered the best women's player in the world.
Japan will kick it off next. You stay with us as we bring you the Women's World Championship from Foshan, China.
It happens every morning in London, Paris, and Madrid. In Munich, Manchester, Zurich, and Brussels. In Glasgow, Stockholm, Frankfurt, and Milan, as the new day arrives, so do we. American Airlines, with more non-stops to Europe from across the U.S. than any other airline. American Airlines, something special to Europe.
If you spend over $20 a month on long distance...
Here in Foshan, China.
I know we're supposed to be impartial, but I can't help but feeling very, very proud of these women, what they've done for U.S. soccer in particular. They've played great ball, and they've played it with authority and shown that they can play with the best in the world. I mean, I'm just so proud of these women. They've done a great job.
Here's Julie Foudy. Give and go with Michelle Akers-Stahl. Plays it towards the area, rejected there. United States leading by a goal, 1-0. We are in the first half. Now the ball played wide. Wendy Gebauer. Long Ball towards the area, deflected off the crossbar by Suzuki. Big save there by Suzuki. As she deflected it off the crossbar, it goes out of bounds. A great chance for the Americans there.
Yes, it was. I think Wendy Gebauer was just trying to cross the ball, but it turned out going on goal, and Suzuki had to make a great effort just to get her fingertips on it. She was trying to flip it over the net, but hit it into the post. She still saved the goal. Great save by Suzuki.
Now the ball played towards the area again. Michelle Akers-Stahl in traffic. We talked in game 2 about the fact that so many times the big scores, the Carin Jennings, the Mia Hamms, the Michelle Akers-Stahls, that they get a lot of double coverage, and you saw it there as well.
That's right, Kevin. But to go back a little bit, in the CONCACAF tournament, the Haitian press called the U.S. team Team RoboCop. I think the Chinese press has a better name for the 3 forwards. They call it the 3-edged knife, and that's Heinrichs, Akers-Stahl, and Jennings. And they said it's a 3-edged knife because you can block 2 of the blades, but the 3rd blade will still cut you, and that's what's happening. If they close down Akers-Stahl, Carin Jennings will get them, or April Heinrichs will get them.
Nice defensive play there by Midori Honda to break up that run by Carin Jennings. Now Kyoka has company. Brandi Chastain doing a good job defensively. Now whistled down for the foul, and the free kick belongs to Japan. Kyoka, just 25 years of age. Well, you look at this crowd, another sellout here in China, in Foshan. 17,000 strong this afternoon.
Well, the Chinese people have supported this tournament amazingly, and FIFA planned it this way. They were thinking about having the tournament in Europe, and a FIFA official had said, we didn't want it in Europe simply because we weren't sure that the European people would support it. And China has been really trying to put on a good face in all sports, in all athletics, and they've done just that. Every game has been a sellout. They had 60,000 people for the opening ceremonies, and they've already sold like 30,000 tickets for the finals, and they don't know who's going to be in them.
Midori Honda plays it across the midfield line. United States doing a good job defensively, bottling up the Japanese. Carin Jennings makes a run. Ooh, tough tackle there. And a foul. Foul against Kaji. And the restart to the United States. Laurie Henry will put the ball into play. United States guaranteed a berth in the quarterfinals of this first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. The only question now is, who will their opponent be? Brandi Chastain now will do the honors. Long ball towards the area. The header coming down with it, Masae Suzuki.
I think slowly the pressure is building on this Japanese defense. They're attacking less, and the U.S. is playing more of the game in the Japanese half. I think the U.S. is finally finding their feet in this game and starting more and faster attacks.
The United States with a decided size advantage. Does this mean the U.S. will put up more high balls in the area looking for the headers?
Well, I think they just put their offense as whatever it dictates. They want to get up quickly and take the shots whenever they can, and if it means putting it up in the air and using Michelle Akers-Stahl's height, absolutely they will. She's the tallest woman on the field at 5'10". She presents a very good target.
25 minutes into the first half. Again, in case you just joined us, halves 40 minutes here in the first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. Ball played out of bounds, way up onto the track by Kyoko Kuroda, and the throw-in will belong to the United States. There's Brandi Chastain. Chastain gets some company and a foul, dangerous play.
Whenever you show the bottom of the boot, the referee almost always calls it, and it's such a dangerous play when you stick the bottom of the foot out like that.
Brandi Chastain again. And it looks like the ball will be played towards the area. Again, the ball hits the crossbar. Boy, another dangerous chance on a long ball.
That's one of the things that I've been noticing in this tournament. Most of the women keepers are a little shorter than you would normally see in the men's game, and so they're having trouble stretching for that higher ball, and consequently, they're not knocking the ball over the top of the post like they'd like to. A lot of balls are knocking off that post.
They were looking for Wendy Gebauer. A goal kick coming up. Our score, the United States 1, Japan nothing. We'll be back. A spin move there by Keoka. Suzuki plays it wide on the left side.
What a nice sequence of passes you just saw there. Until knocked out of bounds. But they showed a nice bit of skill. They moved the ball, split the defense with a couple of passes, and moved it well across the midfield.
This Japanese side, very skilled. They may not have the offensive firepower that the United States has. Yamaguchi plays it wide to the left. Now ahead, Takakura. Boy, nice steal there by Julie Foudy. Foudy working one-on-one against Kuroda. Here's Foudy, centering, pass in front. Nobody home. And Keoka tries to clear it. Boy, nice footwork there by Keoka. Finally gets it to Nagamine. So the United States with a nice attack. But nothing to show for it. They lead in this one 1-0. Now Tracey Bates battles defensively. Leaves the ball. Linda Hamilton has to come back. And an injured player down on the field for the Japanese. United States plays on. They have possession of the ball. Now Debbie Belkin. And finally we get a whistle and apparently an injury timeout.
Now that's surprising that he stopped the game with the ball still on the field. Normally they wait for the ball to be kicked off the field, and I think officially that's what you're supposed to do. But it looks serious enough, I think, that they had to stop it. I'm sure they don't want to see any player be real seriously hurt, and that's why they stopped it. That was from the tangle-up with Tracey Bates. They don't call her the Tiny Terminator for nothing. She's a tough player, and it was one of those 50-50 balls that unfortunately you have a little accident happen.
Apparently Akimi Noda with the air knocked out of her. We'll take a break, and we'll come right back. But it looks like the Colombian referee is going to drop the ball. And that is somewhat unusual because the U.S. had possession.
That's right. And usually in good sportsmanship, if the U.S. had seen the player on the ground, they probably would have knocked the ball out of bounds, and Japan most likely would have thrown it back into the U.S. side.
Ball played in. Here's Debbie Belkin. Belkin makes a run. Finds Michelle Akers-Stahl. Can she hold it in? No. Throw in coming up to the Japanese. Well, with all of the new personnel in the lineup, you had to look for somebody like Michelle Akers-Stahl to come through. She has early on here with a goal. She is one of the veteran players, and I guess you have to look to your veterans when you have a lot of different faces in the lineup.
Well, I think on the field right now, she would be considered the team leader, where before you would let maybe Shannon Higgins as the playmaker be the leader. She's the spiritual leader out there, and so for the team to succeed, she has to start making things happen and directing the team up front, as Carla Werden does in the back.
Throw-in coming up. Futaba Keoka. Her ball intercepted. Here's Julie Foudy. Gets it back. Akers-Stahl couldn't come up with it, and it's cleared back by the Japanese. There you get a look at the score. The United States looking for its third win in this FIFA Women's World Soccer Championships. The injured player back on her feet, apparently okay. Takako Tezuka.
And they gave the caution to Carla Werden.
So the caution comes to Carla Werden at 31 minutes of the first half.
I think the referee saw a couple of fouls happening in sequence, and he didn't want this game to get out of hand. And even though Carla understood she fouled the other woman, he just wanted to let it known that don't get carried away. He's going to give a caution, stay under control.
They play the ball in. Here's Keoka towards the area, headed high in the air. Hamilton goes up for it as well. Ball comes down. Linda Hamilton tries to clear it, held in momentarily. Now Linda Hamilton breaks out. What a long run for Linda Hamilton all the way out of the back. Now crosses it towards the area. Headed away beautifully. U.S., though, keeps the pressure on. Debbie Belkin. Her cross towards the area. Headed away, and Belkin comes up with it again. Well, Debbie Belkin's been all over the field here so far this afternoon. Michelle Akers-Stahl looking for a runner. And again, the U.S. holds it in. Now Carin Jennings towards the end line, crosses it in front. And a foul against the United States.
Kevin, you have to wonder what happened to Japan in the game against Sweden, because either they were very flat or Sweden very inspired. This team is playing with great skill. The Japanese women are playing with great skill. They're playing a tenacious defense, and they're getting pretty good offensive thrusts up there. They're getting some chances, and you have to wonder what happened to the Japanese team against Sweden.
Ball played back towards the midfield area. Michelle Akers-Stahl back to Brandi Chastain. Long run, finds Julie Foudy. Foudy holds on, looks for Jennings, and the play broken up there by Matsuda. Well, the United States, very creative offensively, even without April Heinrichs, without Mia Hamm, without Lilly. They seem to be getting their chemistry back.
Yes, they are. The attack is mounting. They're getting up there in different ways. You see some of the defenders coming up, Wendy Gebauer coming up, making some crosses. You see some of the other players making different kinds of runs at the goal, Linda Hamilton, and the attack is just mounting.
Now the United States again trying to keep the pressure on. Back there, Matsuda. Back pass towards the area. Now they cross it. Dori Honda. Her pass intercepted momentarily. Here comes Chastain towards the area, broken up. Brandi Chastain breaking free into the penalty area. And another good scoring chance for the United States.
Look how quick the U.S. defense closes down when a Japanese woman has the ball. No ball goes unchallenged. No ball stays unchallenged for long.
Midori Honda, back pass to Masae Suzuki. Suzuki has played well. She deflected the 2 shots off the crossbar.
Yes, she has, and she's also seems to be the one directing the defense. A lot of times it's a sweeper, sometimes it's the goalkeeper.
Now Matsuda leaves the ball in the midfield area. Played up front. Ball loose. Who's going to corral it? Finally, Carla Werden clears it. Boy, Carla Werden, she's like Chicken Man. She's everywhere.
Boy, the Chinese are really enjoying this game right now. A lot of cheers and hollers from the crowd because it's been a refreshing game. Very exciting soccer so far.
Yamaguchi had the ball. She just couldn't get control of it in the penalty area.
Normally, though, when you're laying down like that, she was on the ground for a lot of that melee. When you're laying down, the official will call the foul on the player on the ground.
Now Michelle Akers-Stahl down the left side. Nice move to the inside. The shot way up over the crossbar and out of play. But a good scoring chance for Michelle Akers-Stahl. There you get a look at the crowd, a sellout here in Foshan, China. Over 17,000. We've seen sellout crowds in Bunyu and now here in Foshan for these first round games. Now Wendy Gebauer being marked by Kuroda. Ball out of bounds, a throw in to the United States. The U.S. leading here 1-0. Ball played in. Carin Jennings draws a double team. And it hit. Yes, it did. It hit Kyoka, so a throw into the United States. Quick restart. Here's Brandi Chastain. Ball is loose in the area. Here's Gebauer. Her drive deflected. Might have been a handball. But no call on the play. Now Gebauer again. Her shot appeared to be knocked down with a handball. Now Jennings with it. Jennings. Soft cross. Here's the shot. Akers-Stahl, the goal! Michelle Akers-Stahl. And the United States leads 2-0.
I was just about to say, Kevin, that Michelle Akers-Stahl shouldn't be appealing the penalty kick when the melee is still going on in here. Now watch this full volley. Michelle Akers-Stahl gets above the ball, drives it down. Suzuki just gets a hand on it and can't keep it from going in the back of the net.
So the United States leading here by a score of 2-0, and so many times players want that perfect goal, but it doesn't always have to be perfect.
No, you see, Michelle Akers-Stahl doesn't really get all of this, but she gets enough of it to drive it in the net, and that's all you need. She stayed under control and made as good a contact as she could, because that's one of the most difficult shots to hit.
2-0, the United States leading. This game meaningless as far as the standings are concerned, but very important to the United States from the standpoint of getting a look at a lot of personnel, and also as far as the draw for the quarterfinals. The U.S. already guaranteed a berth. The only question now is the opponent. And the U.S. keeps the pressure on despite leading by a score of 2-0. Again, Julie Foudy. Ooh, tough tackle there. Oh, and the shot just wide. And a corner kick coming up here on a rather wicked back pass.
Well, Julie Foudy made that all happen by not letting the Japanese woman control the ball. She closed down on defense right away, stole the ball, and then tried to get it in there and forced a bad pass back. They get the corner kick out of it, and maybe another goal will occur.
Carin Jennings. Jennings already with 3 goals in this tournament. 2 against Sweden, 1 against Brazil. Crosses it in front. Good opportunity. Gebauer. Her drive. She scores! Wendy Gebauer just a minute after Michelle Akers-Stahl makes it 3-0, and Wendy Gebauer has had a couple of great scoring opportunities. One hit the crossbar, one appeared to be knocked down by a handball, but this one clearly in the back of the net.
That's a great opportunity for her. Now, she showed good control here. Watch when the ball gets to her. She doesn't overswing at it, and it looks like she hits it with the inside of the foot, just kind of skipping in there. She's so happy about getting that goal, but it just showed real nice control. She showed a lot of patience when it came to her and drove it in the net. She didn't overswing at the ball. Here it comes again. Watch when she gets this. She just takes a nice, easy swing at this and gets in.
Well, you talked about it in games 1 and 2 that you've got to shoot, and so many things can happen. That time, Suzuki screened by not 1, not 2, but 3 of her own players. She may never have seen that shot.
Well, this is a team that's composed almost entirely of attacking players, very few are defensive players, and consequently, things like this occur. With the U.S. attacking, you leave the defense a little open to the counterattack, and that's why Carla Werden is so important. She has to organize that defense, let the players attack, but still get them back in time to defend their own goal.
The goal officially, Gebauer from Carin Jennings at 38 minutes, just 1 minute after Michelle Akers-Stahl's second goal of the contest. So Jennings now with 2 assists in the afternoon. Akers-Stahl 2 goals, Gebauer with a single tally. And the United States with what appears right now to be a very comfortable lead, although there's a long way to go in this one.
But they have to be careful. Against Sweden, they were up 3-0, and they let Sweden get back into it. They played 60 minutes of great soccer, and then lost their poise a little bit, and Sweden got back in with 2 goals. Against Brazil, they got up 5-0, and the game just kind of ended that way. Both teams just let it end.
And speaking of ending, that's the end of the first half. So the United States, with 3 goals, 2 very quickly late in the half, leading by a score of 3-0. Michelle Akers-Stahl unassisted at 21 minutes. Akers-Stahl again from Carin Jennings, 37 minutes into the first half. And then just a minute later, it was Wendy Gebauer. You say you're up 2-0, you've got a very comfortable lead. You might sit on it. The United States didn't sit on it because Gebauer, with a wicked blast from the left side of the penalty area, made it 3-0.
Well, that's the way the U.S. attacks. They're relentless in it. When they start scoring goals, they seem to come fast and furious, and the more goals they score, the more they want them. It's like sharks feeding. It almost becomes a frenzy. Here, Gebauer just shows nice poise and drives it in. Doesn't overswing, but gets the goal, and that's the way the U.S. is. relentless attack.
So at halftime, the United States leads Japan 3-0 in this third first-round game in the first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. We'll be back with second half action.
Way Bar. Enjoy the smooth chocolate and caramel taste of the original smoothie.
The first U.S. scoring chance belonged to Lori Henry off this corner kicked by Carin Jennings, but she pushed it wide.
Watch newcomer Lori Henry use the Japanese defender for leverage to get up above the defense and win the head ball.
Suzuki with the best scoring chance for the Japanese in the first half off this great pass out in front.
Watch the tiny Terminator, Tracey Bates, shield Suzuki off the ball just enough so that Mary Harvey can make the save.
You got to be careful about the obstruction in the penalty area. Bates was, and Harvey distributes and sets up the next good scoring chance for the Americans. It's Michelle Akers-Stahl. Watch the move she makes on Kuroda. There's the move, there's the shot, and there's the goal.
When Michelle Akers-Stahl gets this ball, watch how she turns immediately to the goal. And although Carin Jennings is known as the great one-on-one player, when Akers-Stahl sees that she has Kuroda all alone, she makes the move, Kuroda makes a sliding tackle that misses, and Akers-Stahl gets the shot. Great blast to the left side of the goal.
And the United States led at this point by a score of 1-0. Watch Brandi Chastain, her drive off the crossbar.
Now, normally this would be a cross. She's 35, 40 yards away, all the way to the sideline, and although she intended this to be a cross, it drifted into the goal mouth and almost was a scoring opportunity. Suzuki had to come up with a save.
With the United States leading by a score of 1-0, Michelle Akers-Stahl with yet another good scoring chance. Watch the move she puts on here. To the inside, off-balance shot just over the crossbar.
Akers-Stahl makes a little move to the left so that she can set up the right-footed shot.
Now the United States remains on the attack. Julie Foudy plays it to Carin Jennings. Here comes the cross, and again, Michelle Akers-Stahl didn't get all of it, but got enough.
This goal came after a long melee in the middle of the area. Watch Jennings as she gathers the ball, crosses it into the middle of the area, and Akers-Stahl comes up with one of the toughest shots in soccer, a full volley. She had to get way up above her waist to get that ball, but still drive it into the back of the net.
That made it 2-0. It became 3-0. A newcomer to the starting lineup, Wendy Gebauer with the goal.
Now, Wendy Gebauer, as we said earlier, is the newcomer. We said she scored this goal with the inside of her foot, but in reality, she hits it with the outside of her left foot. She doesn't swing hard at it, but gets enough bend on it to the left to get it by the keeper, Suzuki.
Suzuki didn't even move. Watch the two players directly in front of Wendy Gebauer actually screening the goalkeeper.
The U.S. leads 3-0 at the half.
This has been the Budweiser Halftime Report, brought to you by the King of Beers. Nothing beats a Bud. The U.S. leads Japan 3-0. And a tremendous crowd, over 17,000, standing room only, here in Foshan, battling, of course, these two teams for the M&M Cup in the first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. And we understand there are going to be a couple of substitutes. Michelle Akers-Stahl, Carin Jennings will go to the bench in the second half.
Coming in for them, it looks like it'll be Kristine, Lilly, and Mia Hamm. Now, it seems odd that they would take out Michelle Akers-Stahl and Carin Jennings. You know, this is the other two of the tremendous attack that the U.S. have. You have Heinrichs, Jennings, and Akers-Stahl up front, who in the past 3 games have really led the U.S. in all their goal-scoring attempts. 2 goals by Carin Jennings in the first game, 2 goals by April Heinrich in the second game, and then 2 goals by Michelle Akers-Stahl in this game. I think it's a little odd that she might be taken out. Maybe it's because these two need to be rested for the start of the quarterfinals.
Replacing them in the lineup, Kristine Lilly and Mia Hamm. Mia Hamm has already scored a couple of goals in this tournament. And, of course, Kristine Lilly, very solid in the midfield for the United States.
Yes, they're both solid players. And I guess Anson Dorrance must think that the game is in hand, that they have enough solid players out there on the field that they can still beat Japan but rest some of their best forwards rest the people that they're already resting, give the others some experience so that they can come in at full strength and at full speed into the quarterfinals.
Well, the officials back out on the field, so is the U.S. team, still awaiting the return of Japan to the playing surface. In the game against Sweden, the United States was up 3-0, let the Swedes back into the game, and ended up winning at 3-2. What happened against Sweden that allowed Sweden back into the game, and what must the U.S. do here this afternoon in the second half to prevent that same thing from happening against Japan?
I think a number of things happened in the Sweden game, the game against Sweden. Is first, it was a night game, so here's the first game of the first Women's World Championship. There was a lot of pent-up excitement, a lot of nervous energy that built all day, and that excitement translates into a lot of nervous energy. They played well, they played great for the first 60 minutes, scored 3 goals, and then maybe they said, hey, we're going to win our first game. They got really excited, and they lost composure a little bit. They got a little flat. Let Sweden get back in it, and I think they will not make that mistake again. They did not make it against Brazil, even though the second half was a little flat. That game was well in hand.
At the top of your screen, behind the referee, Kristine Lilly, one of the 2 substitutes, along with Mia Hamm. And at midfield, Brandi Chastain, along with Wendy Gebauer. They'll open up the second half. United States in control here, 3-0, and we are underway. Great to have you with us. There's Mia Hamm playing it all the way back towards her penalty area for Carla Werden. United States with goals by Michelle Akers-Stahl, a pair of goals, and Wendy Gebauer with a single tally. See if the United States keeps that relentless pressure on the Japanese. Ball played back towards the area, finally cleared and out. Throw-in coming up to the United States. Do you look for a change of style here in the second half, Matt?
Now, the U.S. has learned over these last 2 games that if they change their style, they can get burned by it. So I think they will continue to attack. That's the way they've been successful getting to this tournament, and that's the way they've been successful in this tournament. They have to attack to maintain that.
Foul there against Wendy Gebauer. Ball goes over to Japan. Boy, nice slide tackle there, and a possible injury. U.S. player is down. It looks like Brandi Chastain. Now she's up. Apparently okay. Boy, I tell you, that was a dangerous play that Kaji made, trying to dribble it through the area in traffic.
You don't want to dribble out of the defense. You want to use passes or long balls to get it out of the defense. You certainly don't want to be beating people because there's no way you can take the ball 90 yards just dribbling all the way downfield, and you're just taking an unnecessary risk.
U.S. on the throw-in. It'll be Lori Henry. Ball knocked down. Chastain has it knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to the U.S. Quick throw-in. That time they looked for Kristine Lilly. U.S. keeps the pressure on. Finally, it's cleared back into the U.S. zone. Here's Carla Werden. On the right side, Debbie Belkin. Belkin in her 49th international appearance. Now Kuroda will play it forward for Japan. They have to get some offense going. Right now, they've had probably 1 chance at getting the ball past Mary Harvey, and that's been about it this afternoon.
But they've showed some nice control and some nice ball movement. They've been getting the opportunities. It's just that they've not been finishing.
Here's Mia Hamm with a drive, and just high and wide. Mia Hamm scored a pair of goals in the tournament so far, and in the first couple of minutes of this second half, getting a good scoring chance there.
She got 1 against Sweden, 1 against Brazil, and the fresh legs in the first half. She wants to make her mark felt, hence the shot.
Very aggressive, attacking sort of player. Youngest member of this team.
One of her strengths is that although she attacks, she gets back on defense very quickly. They love her because she plays both ends of the field.
Tremendous 2-way player. I imagine goalkeepers like people like that.
Sure, the more people you get stuffed around that net, the more people, the less chance there is to score.
You get a nice view of this facility. Tremendous facility for soccer. Seating just over 17,000, and every seat is filled. Now here's Gebauer looking for number 2. The shot saved, made that time by Suzuki. And Kristine Lilly set up perfectly.
Belkin made that cross right into Lilly, and Lilly brought it down. Rather than take the first-time shot, she thought she could control it and then get the shot off. Suzuki was up to the challenge.
Well, the United States, Matt, doesn't look like it's really lost anything by sitting down Akers-Stahl and Jennings.
No, if anything, they're picking it up even more. They're attacking the net even more.
Well, that shows you the tremendous depth that Anson Dorrance has really assembled with this team. And this considering that he had to tell a number of players that they weren't going to be a part of this effort.
And I think he feels it also that he can put any of the 18 players out there and win games.
Nagamine with the steal. Feeds to Kuroda, left side. Now Kuroda will bring it back out. Well, the Japanese do a tremendous job of shifting the ball side to side. Tremendous passes. That was not one of them. As Lori Henry brings it forward. Looks for Brandi. Chastain on the outside. Chastain, the left footer in front. Ooh, fisted out of there by Suzuki. Great scoring chance there for the United States. And Masae Suzuki came up big. Boy, that was a golden opportunity for the United States, and they just keep applying pressure.
If anybody should be getting a gold star in this game, it is the goalkeeper, Suzuki. She has done a great job for Japan in net, saving a number of opportunities, and the goals that were scored were really not her fault. A misssliding tackle, Akers-Stahl gets a goal. She was screened on another, and Akers-Stahl had a full volley from 6 yards away. They're almost impossible to stop.
Brandi Chastain on the corner, out in front. Was looking for Julie Foudy, but she missed on the header attempt. Ball crossed into the area. The shot, oh, just wide of the net. That one may have been deflected out in front by Kristine Lilly.
Well, Foudy timed that head ball really well to try to get it. She was just pushed off the ball by the Japanese defense.
Well, the U.S. getting good scoring opportunity after good scoring opportunity. I guess the best defense in a situation like this is a great offense. A lot of teams go into a shell up 3-0. Not so the United States women.
Well, it doesn't look like the Japanese are sitting back. They just can't get out of their zone. They're trying to pass the ball around, get out. They really need to start bypassing zones. Hit a long ball up like Sweden does or Norway.
One of the problems the Japanese, at least so far in this game, have been content with a very slow build-up. Short pass, short pass, short pass, short pass, maybe stringing as many as 3 and 4 and 5 passes together to get upfield. And as you say, maybe they need the long ball.
Because they've not been building many opportunities. They've had a couple opportunities, and it's worked well. You can see the skill of the Japanese team. They just can't get it out of the area. With the U.S. closing down so quickly, they have to start using that long ball if they are to get out of their zone.
Masae Suzuki drives it back to midfield. Japan looking for its first goal of the contest.
Like here, now they are playing in the U.S. half. They've got to keep pushing that ball forward. The more they play it across the field, the quicker the U.S. defense closes it down.
Great slide tackle attempt there by Mia Hamm. Now the Japanese attack again. Here's Suzuki. She had a good chance earlier, but a corner kick awarded to Japan. And again, Carla Werden was there.
Well, she's the backbone of the defense. She sets everything up. And not only does she set up the defense, but she helps out on the offense, too. She's the eyes and ears back there. She controls everything. She can let people know if someone's closing them down from behind.
You can hear the U.S. team communicating in their own zone. Futaba Kyoka on the corner. Drives it out in front. Cleared out of there.
And you notice it was a low ball. The Japanese do not want to put it up in the air because of the obvious height advantage that the U.S. team has.
Wendy Gebauer playing it to Kristine Lilly. Nice move there, looking for Gebauer on the give and go. Now to Brandi Chastain. Chastain. Now to Tracey Bates. Back to Gebauer. Here's Julie Foudy. Foudy the drive. She blasted it high. But another good scoring chance for the United States. They keep the pressure on the Japanese.
Number 11, Julie Foudy, has really come to fore in these last two games. In the first game against Sweden, she played her defensive midfielder role to a T. She did very, very well. Now in these last two games, she's been getting more involved in the offense, taking shots, making runs.
Ball will be played in on the goal kick. The Japanese looking for that elusive first goal of the contest. Now Julie Foudy again. Gives back Lori Henry. Henry pushes it towards the area. And back pass dangerously back by Takakura.
Actually, Japan is looking for the first goal of the tournament. I mean, they have yet to score in this first Women's World Championship.
Ball headed again, and the U.S., Mia Hamm. There's Gebauer, feeding to Kristine Lilly. Through ball, Mia Hamm's open and taken down.
What a beautiful pass that was to get in there. They split the defense with that pass, and they had to take her down to make the save. I think the U.S. is going to get a penalty kick here. See who wants to take it.
The injured player is down. That is Yamaguchi. Boy, she's limping pretty badly.
I think they had to take her down. They had to take her down, or she was going to get a great opportunity on goal that Suzuki probably wouldn't have been able to handle.
So the United States with a chance to make it 4-0, and it will be Mia Hamm. Just 19 years old, out of Burke, Virginia.
Now there's two ways that you can take a penalty kick. You can either blast it or try to finesse it, slide it to one side or the other, catching the keeper guessing.
Mia Hamm against Masae Suzuki, trying to make it 4-0. She hit the post. Mia Hamm coming that close to the U.S.'s fourth goal of the afternoon.
You will see Mia Hamm try to accurately put it to the left side of the goal. She tries to finesse it, but too wide, hits the post, misses.
So the United States denied on its chance for a fourth goal this afternoon. Score remains 3-0.
You know Mia Hamm's going to have bad dreams about this one. You always expect to make the penalty kick. That's why you take them. That's why she wanted to take it. She expected to get the goal, and it's just going to give her bad dreams tonight when she thinks about it.
How much do these women practice that very play? I know we talk a lot about tactics and they work on conditioning. As Mia Hamm moves into the area, here's a drive by Gebauer, just wide. And we'll take a timeout. More to come from Foshan, China. Her team down 3-0. It was almost 4-0. Here again, the great chance for Wendy Gebauer.
Again, she tries to hit it. Now this one just bends just a little bit wide. Another bending shot by Wendy Gebauer.
You know, we were talking about the penalty kicks. Is that something that they practice often?
Practice every free moment. Soccer players love to practice penalty kicks because it's just a free blast at the keeper. You're standing a few yards away and you get to fire for all you're worth. So, yes, everyone practices it. Unfortunately, in a game, very few want to take that penalty kick. That's where you separate the people who want to do it and the people who don't want to do it. Those who step right up there in the game and say, I want to take the penalty kick, because that's a kick that should be made, ought to be made, and that's a lot of pressure. So you really tell a person's character, a person's mettle, by whether they want to take that kick or not.
You could see it in their eyes. Do they want the ball in the final moments of a basketball game? Do you want to make that field goal late in a pro football game? Same way here in soccer as the United States.
And the strong character of player that Anson Dorrance has on this team, I'll bet every one of these women want to take that penalty kick.
Here's Kyoka, one-on-one against Kristine Lilly. What a move by Kyoka. But then she can't complete the second pass. Carla Werden knocks it out of bounds. And a throw-in coming up.
That's where Carla Werden's savvy comes in. She was in a good backup position to support Kristine Lilly.
Takakura with another good run. That one was thwarted as well. Long ball into the area, but right there, Mary Harvey.
Listen to the crowd get into this. I think they really want to see Japan get their first goal.
Well, the United States, like the Yankees, kind of the favorite in the tournament, and maybe everybody is maybe turning against the United States and picking up a a dark horse favorite in Japan.
Well, I think it's just that they are rooting to see a fellow country score some goals. Now, one of the favorites in here and one of the teams that are going into the quarterfinals is China. And they are under enormous pressure, believe it or not, enormous pressure by their own people because it's at home to succeed in this tournament. And although they play great soccer, it's kind of tough playing under those conditions.
China with what I would not term an upset, but certainly a surprising win over Norway.
Well, the Anson Dorrance said that that probably is the second best team in the tournament, China. They played very well when the U.S. came to play them and said the Chinese team are going to surprise a lot of these other teams, especially the European teams, coming into this tournament.
You just have to wonder about pressure. The United States hosting the World Cup in 1994 for the men. How much pressure will be on the men's national team?
Well, that'll be up to Bora Milutinovic to come up with a team that can compete under those conditions.
Again, the U.S. attacking, as they have done all afternoon. Ball finally out of bounds, away from Wendy Gebauer. Throw into the United States. And Mia Hamm will take it. Looks for Wendy Gebauer. First centering pass right there. Oh, and finally knocked out of bounds.
That's what we were talking about. No ball goes unchallenged. You see, I think it's number 13, Kristine Lilly, comes sliding in there. Now, that was a routine ball back to the goalkeeper, and yet she doesn't let the Japanese have any free balls, any free opportunities at getting the ball. Close them down fast.
Sayuri Yamaguchi on the goal kick. She powers it out of there. The United States keeps the pressure on. Lori Henry keeps it alive. Her drive headed out of the penalty area. And the U.S. continues to apply the pressure. Down goes Matsuda. And the foul against the United States. How about I guess about 3/4 through the contest? Simple report card on the three newcomers to the starting lineup: Tracey Bates, Wendy Gebauer, and Lori Henry.
Well, you just saw Lori Henry coming up from her defensive position to take a shot. She had one of the first opportunities for the U.S. with a good ball in the air. Let's take a look at this attack by Japan. Stopped rather handily by the defense. Good, solid defense. So Lori Henry has done a good job. Then Wendy Gebauer. Great goal. The third goal for the U.S. She showed a lot of poise and confidence coming in her first game, scoring. Again, showing that why she was the number 7 all-time leading scorer for UNC. And finally, the tiny Terminator, Tracey Bates. She's doing just as her nickname suggests. She's getting in there, mixing it up, making things happen.
Julie Foudy defensively for the United States. That ball knocked down by Kristine Lilly. And the United States finally has it poked free. Here's Takakura. Her drive blocked. Finally, it's shot back out to midfield. United States led Sweden 3-0. Let them back into the game. They're trying to not have that happen here against the Japanese this afternoon in Foshan.
I think if the U.S. gets one more goal, it will put the Japanese team away. Right now, the Japanese just can't seem to get that finishing shot. Their attacks are getting into the zone a little bit more, but they're not getting that shot off.
Again, the U.S. allowing the Japanese a couple of passes in the U.S. zone, and that's it.
Mary Harvey has not really been challenged at all. You have to give credit to the whole U.S. defense, and that is from Carla Werden. She has set up this defense pretty good and kept the ball in the Japanese zone as much as they could. As you said before, the best defense is a good offense. There's the bench and Coach Anson, Dorrance over on the side. Oops,
great move. Takakura moving in. The shot wide. Takakura moving in all alone on Mary Harvey.
Boy, did you hear the crowd really liven up? They want to see Japan score so bad, and that was a great opportunity. Slips by the defense. She has a good shot at goal. But see how Mary Harvey comes and closes down this angle to give the Japanese attacker a bad angle at the goal. See how she comes way out of the net? Not much net to shoot at, and she did as well as she could. Maybe if she could have hit it with the outside of her foot, she could have bent it into the far post.
She may have heard footsteps, those of Julie Foudy, who was closing her down. But the United States dodges a bullet there.
Well, I think at this point in the game, the Japanese players know that they have to get rid of the ball quick because the U.S. defense will close down so quickly.
Throw into the United States. U.S. leads by a score of 3-0. The U.S. vying for the coveted M&M Cup. In case you just joined us, this the first FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. Now down the left side, Yamaguchi, Linda Hamilton on the marking, and finally knocked down in the area by Carla Werden. Boy, the U.S. comes at you defensively in waves. First it was Linda Hamilton going shoulder to shoulder, and then Carla Werden.
That's right. Linda Hamilton was fighting for the ball. It was going 50-50 at this point, and then Carla Werden was again in perfect support position. So when that ball got away, she was there to pick up the defense and knock the ball away, give up the corner kick before giving up the shot.
Futaba Kyoka on the corner. And the crowd comes to life here. A good Japanese opportunity. Again, line, but wide. Oh, a critical mistake there by Kyoka.
Oh, players hate that. When you set up for a corner kick, you want to at least try to get a shot. And any time a corner kick goes out of bounds immediately, when you hit that cross right over the end line and have no chance, I mean, that drives you nuts. You hate that because you, especially the defenders, you've run 50 yards upfield to get in.
Again, we are over 20 minutes into this second half. The halves, 40 minutes in this FIFA first World Championship for women's soccer. There you get a look at Mary Harvey. Hasn't been all that busy.
No, and we talked about the newcomers getting into the game. The U.S. made their 2 substitutions already, so they can't make any more. So that means for these first 3 games, we will not see the other 2 goalkeepers that are here at the tournament, Kim Maslin-Kammerdeiner and Amy Allman. Now, Kim Maslin, she's been with the U.S. national team since its inception, and she's been a real trooper. She's played when she's had to play and been a real supportive player for this U.S. squad. So I don't think we'll see either of them. Obviously, we won't see either of them in the rest of this game.
Mia Hamm on the throw-in. And a substitution for the Japanese.
Looks like Honda.
This in the 62nd minute. Unofficially. Official time kept down in the field. Ball played into the midfield area. Brandi Chastain turns. Foudy runs onto it, but too late. And the Japanese take over. The Japanese with a little more life offensively here in the second half.
They've had a couple runs at goal, but they've had their success when they play that long ball. When they've knocked it around at midfield, they just can't seem to break through the U.S. defense.
Now Kyoka plays it wide. Finds Honda. Cuts it inside. Nice move there by Honda. And finally, the U.S. clears it. And a really nice play by Tracey Bates that time, as the Japanese had a head of steam.
And it almost looks like Wendy Gebauer was a little tired there. She was making lunging attacks on the defense and just didn't seem to really play defense the way she knows she's capable of.
Japan, they need to get their offense generated and quickly because they're down 3 goals with less than 20 minutes to go. Now Kyoka plays it wide. Looking for Honda, but right there was Tracey Bates. So the United States bending but not breaking at this point. Here's Mia Hamm the other way. Boy, nice move there. Keeps the ball alive, finds Kristine Lilly. Lilly, one-on-one against Kaji. Crosses it, and out of bounds. So a goal kick coming up to the Japanese.
The Japanese have started to make more urgent attacks at the U.S. goal, but that also leaves them open in the defense, and the way the U.S. has not got out of their style might leave them open for another goal for the U.S.
Masae Suzuki gives way now to Yamaguchi. Plays the long ball into the midfield. Finally, it comes down to Linda Hamilton. Hamilton, a bit of a quiet afternoon. She, of course, had the tremendous game and drew the praise of Anson Dorrance after Game 2 against Brazil, as she just shut down Bela, their high-powered scorer. Long lead pass for Kristine Lilly. Suzuki with the stop.
It's a good thing Suzuki came out of the goal so quick. You saw the Brazilian keeper get caught in that no-man's land a couple of times last game. She came out and made that save.
Brandi Chastain, her shot blocked. U.S. controls at midfield. Now the Japanese the other way. Akimi Noda plays it wide. Tracey Bates back there defensively. They play it wide. Nagamine draws double coverage. Wants to cross, can't. Boy, what a nice job there by Debbie Belkin.
Well, did you see how Debbie Belkin set her up? She slowed down the whole play, and here comes Tracey Bates just flying in there to give that double coverage on that. And that's the way this defense has been playing. That all comes from Carla Werden. She's the one who decides when a double team is going to occur.
Corner kick awarded to Japan. An injured Japanese player is down.
Listen to all the talk out there. That's how you can tell good teams. Both teams are doing a lot of talking. When the communication stops, that's when the teams generally fall apart. And the U.S. has shown a lot that they have a lot of communication out there, and the Japanese team also in this game.
Great example to youth soccer players. You really need to communicate. Goalkeepers with defenders, defenders with forwards. Now Futaba Kyoka. Corner kick here. Japan trying to get back in this game. The header in front, all wide. Now Honda with it. Honda plays it back. Crossed out in front. Finally cleared. The United States trying to take some pressure off, and a throw-in coming up here to the Japanese.
That corner kick was a low screamer across the net and was very, very dangerous.
Look at Brandi Chastain all the way back by her own end line. The United States, as frantic as they have been offensively. I mean, every time they get the ball, they're going at goal. Here's Brandi Chastain all the way back at her end line, playing defense.
And did you see how much confidence she had in that pass? There was a Japanese defender right there, and she still made the pass back to the goalkeeper. I mean, she had that much confidence in her ability. It just goes to show you how much the good conditioning the U.S. team has. They've really worked hard, and they feel that as long as they have enough time, they will wear the other team down, even if it takes all day.
Well, this team's still playing with great defensive intensity. You saw Mia Hamm there. Boy, you got to like to see that. You're up 3-0. I guess the natural reaction would be, well, let's just kind of pack it in. Let's just kind of cool it. No problem. This game's well in hand. Under probably 15 minutes to go. This game pretty much in the victory column for the United States, but yet the defensive intensity remains there for the United States.
I think that's what's been so much fun watching these women's games, is that all the teams that we've seen have always attacked. I mean, they've been great fun to watch because they're not sitting back. They're not sitting back playing defense and hoping for a goal. They're playing good aggressive offense, shooting whenever they can, and it's really been a lot of fun to watch. Hats off to all the women in this tournament.
Ball played wide by Wendy Gebauer. Here's Mia Hamm with it. Nice fake to the outside. Draws a double team. And wisely plays it back to Debbie Belkin. Here's Belkin attacking. Her drive blocked. Nagamine with a nice run. Plays it quickly to Tezuka. Give and go looking for Tezuka. Back there is Debbie Belkin. Here's Japan attacking. Long looping pass. Oh, knocked out of the goal area. Ball is loose and cleared out of the danger zone. And that one could have been deadly for the United States.
Mary Harvey came up with a save at the right time. She came out of the net. That was a good attack by the Japanese because they sent a long ball down into the corner and then got that melee in front of the net. Here they go again.
Etsuko Honda. And the ball out of bounds. Well, it's obvious why Honda is in the game. She is in clearly for offense, and she is creating good chances.
And the fresh legs. To get in there, she's a little bit more fit. Maybe the Japanese team isn't in as good a condition as the U.S. squad. The fresh legs are really showing here. She's made a couple of opportunities. Now she's going to take the corner kick.
Etsuko Honda. Ball is crossed out in front and cleared off the penalty area. Long drive over the crossbar and out of bounds. Goal kick to the U.S. And we'll be back.
The ball's flicked back to the top of the D. Kristine Lilly comes up with a nice slide to get it out of there, but Kuroda has an opportunity from 25 yards away for a good shot. It was way high, but it was a great opportunity for the Japanese.
The Japanese do not doubt their skill. They may not have the physical presence that the United States does. As you look at another ball slide tackled by the U.S., but they have tremendous skill, and they've shown it so far here this afternoon, despite the fact that they are down 3-0 with under 10 minutes to go.
And their best success comes right there with those long passes.
Long cross in front, header, high in the air, and onto the top of the net. Akimi Noda with the header from just outside the goal box.
That cross caught her wrong-footed. She just wasn't in position to get up for the head ball. Thus, you saw her kind of falling back to get it, and it goes off the top of her head and, of course, over the net.
So the United States with a goal kick. Mary Harvey is there, so is Carla Werden. And Werden, wearing number 4, will take it.
This actually is good for the U.S. because now Mary Harvey is getting back into the game a little bit. She's getting some action, and she needs that. You need that to take you into the next set of games.
Now the United States on the defensive here. Matsudo plays it wide right. Minori Honda feeds in the wing. The United States has done a marvelous job defensively here this afternoon. Now the ball played forward. Kristine Lilly had the player open on the left side, couldn't get it to her. United States will advance to the quarterfinals regardless, really, of what happens here. The big question is the draw. Who will be their next opponent? We just don't know right now.
Well, I think with this win and being a 3-0 win, if indeed they keep it scoreless or if they can get more, that they may get the best possible seed.
And that right now, I believe, would be possibly Taiwan, maybe Germany.
Well, they certainly don't want to face Germany right away. I think Chinese Taipei would be a better draw for them.
Ball played back. Again, under 10 minutes to go in regulation because the United States leading in this one 3-0. We remind you, though, that the official time being kept down on the field. Racing back for the loose ball, Lori Henry. And into Mary Harvey. Good for Mary Harvey, as you mentioned, to just get a touch on the ball. Get a feel of the ball. Now Julie Foudy.
Well, this game is oh so important for them to have a good showing coming into the quarterfinals because once you get into that tournament, the final 8 teams, it's single elimination. You lose any one of those games and you're out. So these women want to be hitting on all cylinders so that they can go into the tournament strong. And I think they are. They've really played good soccer. I think when the three-edged knife gets back into the game, Akers-Stahl, Heinrichs, and Carin Jennings, they will be hitting on all cylinders.
Boy, it's amazing to watch the defensive intensity. It is still high. We're in the final 10 minutes. The United States appears, we put that in quotes, appears to have a commanding lead, but yet is still going in there with tough tackles. You see an injured player down for Japan.
I think they have Sweden in the back of their minds again. That little lapse that they had for the last 20 minutes of the game against Sweden. They don't want that to happen, so maybe they're even playing overly aggressive. They just want to keep things going the way they are. They're playing great soccer right now, and they want to have that carried into the next round of the tournament.
Akimi Noda apparently okay. And the United States will take a throw in here. Mia Hamm is there. Look at her directing traffic.
Listen to the talking that's going on out there.
That is great communication on the part of the U.S. women. Ball thrown in, and in good sportsmanship, the ball thrown to the Japanese.
That's what the directing was all about. She knew she was going to give it to the Japanese defense because they knocked it out to help one of their own players, their captain, Noda.
Well, that is what is so great when you bring 12 great teams to China for this first ever FIFA World Championship for women's soccer. Ball loose in the area. Now Hamm has the possible shot, cuts it inside, the shot saved, made by Suzuki. Boy, some great ball handling in the area by the United States.
Really is. I mean, there was a good move just before that to set it up, and I know she wished she had that pass back because she'd rather have the shot. Fortunately, it went to Hamm. Hamm took the shot and made Suzuki again make a difficult save. Suzuki has played so well. If she had not, this game could very easily be 8-9-0 right now.
You know, it's been great being here in China, here in Foshan. The United States, in addition to training and doing all the things they need to do, here you get a look at it again, Mia Hamm. And again, the goalkeeper, Suzuki, was screened on that play and made a nice save. The women have a chance to interact with other women from other regions of the world.
Well, they had a chance to interact before they even got there. They took the plane ride with 4 of the European teams over from Zurich. The U.S. team got picked up in New York and took a chartered plane, picked everybody up in Zurich, and that had to be a little uncomfortable. I know they said it was. All five teams on one plane, and you know, you want to be friendly, but you also know you're going to be competing in the first ever championship match.
Ball played towards the area, cleared out of there by Yamaguchi. United States up by 3, still pressuring the ball. Now it's played up the left side. Kiyoka. As the crowd comes to life here, they like to see the Japanese get on the board. And Mary Harvey comes out to make the stop there.
She came diving out because she just wasn't sure if there was any Japanese players around her. So since you're not sure, attack the ball, go at it, get the ball, don't wait for it, go after it.
Mary Harvey, 5'8", 140 pounds, out of Los Altos Hills, California. Another one of these players getting good international experience, but she plays regularly internationally.
She plays in Germany. She plays for Frankfurt in the Bundesliga for women, and they really play a good controlled soccer. So even though she's only played a couple of games with the U.S. national team, she's got great international experience, and it shows.
Brandi Chastain crosses it in front. The shot, oh, it hit a Japanese player, and down she goes. Oh, she took that one, it looked like square in the face.
Rory Henry really hit that ball hard. A full volley drives it right into the Japanese defender, but she's trying to take a shot on goal, and unfortunately the Japanese defender is a little banged up here.
Boy, that was tough, and that got her, it looked like either upper chest or along the chin area. Midori Honda.
Boy, that hurts. And as a defender, you have to make that move. You have to put yourself in an exposed position. Listen to the crowd. She's up and she's okay, but she took a shot to the neck that she's real unhappy about. But that's what they pay the defenders for. It's no fun when you know you're going to get smacked.
So Honda's apparently okay, although shaking the cobwebs out. Ball loose. Nagamine towards the area, has it knocked free, and here comes Kristine Lilly the other way. U.S. on the counterattack, up by 3, and with just under 5 minutes remaining. United States, I don't think the outcome of the game really in question, but now the question, what about the shutout for Mary Harvey?
Well, the Japanese have been making better attacks this second half. They've been using the long ball to bypass the U.S. defense, and it's been effective. But this defense is so strong. Carla Werden really organizes it well, and you can almost see the U.S. team slowing down the pace a little bit and keeping it under control. I think they feel the game is in hand, only a few minutes left.
Japan, at this point, I think just playing for pride. They'd love to get on the board against a very strong U.S. team.
Well, they were playing for pride before. They didn't have a chance to advance in the quarterfinals, but this is an entirely different team than what lost to Sweden 8-0. I mean, they've played good, skilled soccer. They've been unlucky with the few chances that they've had, but they've had better success with the long pass. It's just that tenacious defense that the U.S. has where they close them down so fast. They're just not giving the Japanese a chance to build their attack.
Well, it's not unlike in baseball where teams playing against the Yankees, they want to beat them. They know they're playing the best. Here, the Japanese playing against what may be, at least coming into the tournament, the best women's team in the world. Now Handa going wide. The cross. Headed into the goal area and headed wide. Oh, what a great chance there for the Japanese to get on the board. Suzuki with the header and just pushed it wide.
You can see the confidence of the U.S. defense. They were very sure of what was happening there, and there's no panic back there. They all were in position to make the save. There's Mary Harvey just standing there, knew it was wide. But they were playing with great poise, and you can see the confidence on the field. They just exude, reek the confidence.
We are down inside the final couple of minutes. There may well be some injury time. The official time being kept down on the field by the Colombian referee. Now Lori Henry keeps the ball alive. Boy, good job by Lori Henry. She's one of the newcomers to the lineup today.
And see, as soon as she got control of that ball, she was looking up to make an accurate pass. There was no panic in her delivery.
And if Lori Henry does not get into another game, there's a drive. Oh, right on. Wendy Gebauer. And the keeper again was screened by her own defender.
But Suzuki was in good position so that as soon as she saw it, she was able to make what could have been a very difficult shot for her look easy.
And we were talking about the newcomers. If these players don't get into another game, this will be an experience they will never forget.
No, all of these players were at this tournament, the first ever, and they're involved in it.
There's Mary Harvey again coming down with the long cross. Mary Harvey's going to let her team get downfield, kill off a little more time on the clock.
And that's where the size advantage comes in. She knew the attacker was right behind her, and she just reached up and took the ball out of the air, as goalkeepers are supposed to do.
Referee looking at the watch. And that's it. The United States has advanced to the quarterfinals. An impressive 3-0 win over Japan. And what a performance. Offensively, defensively, goalkeeping-wise, the United States did it all here this afternoon.
They did it all with all the substitutions they had. They rested their injured players, rested their star players. I mean, this is a great win for the U.S. They're hitting on all cylinders going into the quarterfinals.
Well, we'll be back to take a look at the highlights of this afternoon's game. That's coming up next here in Foshan, China. You're watching. Win the board early, a goal by Akers-Stahl at the 21st minute. Then Akers-Stahl at it again. Didn't get all of it, but enough to get it past Masae Suzuki. That made it 2-0.
Here off a corner kick, Wendy Gebauer hits it with the outside of her foot, bends it around Suzuki for goal 3.
So coming up next, it's the U.S. and Taiwan. Be assured you'll see it here on Sports Channel America. Special thanks to our crew here in Foshan, China. For Matt Barr, I'm Kevin Wall saying thanks for joining us. The final score again, the United States 3, Japan 0.